Let's talk about confidence. Real confidence. Not the fake stuff you see on Instagram, not the loud guy at the party trying too hard, and definitely not the fake it till you make it advice that leaves you feeling like a fraud. We're going to break down what confidence actually looks like, why it matters so much in dating and life, and how you can start building the real thing from the inside out. What confidence actually looks like the quiet certainty of confident people. Here's something that might surprise you. The most confident people you know are probably not the loudest ones in the room. They're not the ones flexing in every photo or constantly talking about their achievements. Real confidence is quiet. It's a sense of certainty about who you are and what you bring to the table without needing to prove it to anyone. Think about that one guy in your friend group who just seems comfortable everywhere he goes. He doesn't stress about what to say. He doesn't panic when there's an awkward silence. He's not trying to impress anyone, but somehow people are impressed anyway. That's confidence. It's the absence of performance. It's knowing that you're enough without needing everyone to agree with you. Confidence versus cockiness. Spotting the difference. This is where a lot of guys get confused. Confidence and cockiness might look similar on the surface, but they're complete opposites under the hood. Cockiness is loud. It needs attention. It's the guy who mentions his salary within 5 minutes of meeting you, or who puts other people down to make himself look better. Cockiness is actually insecurity dressed up in a loud outfit. It's saying, "Look at me," because deep down you're terrified no one would look otherwise. Real confidence doesn't need to announce itself. A confident guy can walk into a room, have a genuine conversation, laugh at himself when he makes a mistake, and make other people feel good just by being present. He's not trying to win every interaction. He's just being himself, and that's enough. Here's a quick test. If you're genuinely confident, you're happy for other people's success. If you're cocky, other people's wins feel like your losses. That's the difference. One comes from a place of abundance, the other from scarcity. Why girls are drawn to genuine confidence. Let's be real about why this matters for dating. Girls can sense real confidence from a mile away, and they can smell fake confidence even further. When you're truly confident, you're not trying to manipulate the outcome of an interaction. You're not overthinking every text, worrying about whether she likes you, or changing who you are to fit what you think she wants. That energy is attractive because it feels safe. When you know who you are, you're not going to play games. You're not going to get weird if she doesn't text back immediately. You're not going to say one thing and mean another. Confidence tells a girl, "I'm comfortable with myself, so I can be comfortable with you too." On the flip side, when you're insecure and trying to hide it, everything becomes a performance. You're calculating, overthinking, and honestly, it's exhausting for everyone involved. Girls pick up on that energy, and it pushes them away. Not because you're a bad person, but because it signals that you don't trust yourself. And if you don't trust yourself, why should anyone else? The self-worth foundation, knowing your value beyond external validation. Here's the hard truth that most people skip over. Confidence is built on self-worth, and self-worth cannot come from outside sources. Not from girls liking you, not from your follower count, not from your grades or your salary or how much you can lift at the gym. Those things can be great. They can add to your life, but if your sense of self depends on them, you're building your house on sand. Because here's the thing, external validation is temporary. You get the girl, and then you're terrified of losing her. You get the promotion, and then you're stressed about the next one. You get the likes, and then you're refreshing the page for more. True self-worth is knowing that you matter regardless of the outcome. It's knowing that you're a person worthy of respect, kindness, and love simply because you exist, not because of what you've achieved or who you've impressed. This doesn't mean you stop trying to improve. It means you improve because you care about yourself, not because you're trying to prove yourself. How self-worth affects every interaction. When your self-worth is solid, it changes how you show up in every area of your life. In dating, you're not desperate for a yes. You want connection, but you don't need validation. That makes you willing to be genuine, to take risks, to be yourself, because rejection doesn't define your value. In friendships, you're not people-pleasing or saying yes when you mean no. You set boundaries because you respect yourself. Ironically, this makes people respect you more, not less. At work or school, you're not afraid to speak up or ask questions. You're not paralyzed by the fear of looking stupid. You take feedback without crumbling because your identity isn't tied to being perfect. Every text you send, every conversation you have, every risk you take, it all comes from a different place when your self-worth is internal rather than external. You become someone who's comfortable in their own skin, and that's magnetic. Common confidence myths debunked myth. You need to be rich or hot to be confident. This is one of the most damaging beliefs out there. Society loves to sell you the idea that confidence comes from having a perfect face, a six-pack, or a bank account with commas in it. That's a lie designed to keep you insecure and spending money. Sure, being attractive or wealthy might give you some initial advantages, but I've met plenty of rich, good-looking guys who are deeply insecure. I've also met guys who don't fit conventional beauty standards, who don't have much money, and who radiate genuine confidence that draws people in. Confidence comes from accepting who you are, owning your strengths, and being honest about your growth areas. It comes from living in alignment with your values and treating yourself with respect. None of that requires a specific bank balance or mirror reflection. Myth: confidence means never feeling nervous. Here's a secret: confident people get nervous all the time. The difference is they don't let nerves stop them. They feel the fear and do it anyway. Confidence isn't the absence of anxiety, it's the ability to act despite it. That guy asking for a girl's number, his heart might be pounding. That student giving a presentation, their palms might be sweaty. But they've learned that nerves are just a sensation, not a stop sign. If you're waiting to feel completely calm before you take action, you'll be waiting forever. Confidence is built by doing things while you're scared, not by waiting for the fear to disappear. Myth: extroverts are naturally more confident. Being outgoing and being confident are two completely different things. Extroverts might be more comfortable in social situations, but that doesn't mean they're confident. Plenty of extroverts are performing, seeking validation, and falling apart when the attention stops. Introverts can be deeply confident. You can be quiet, prefer small groups, hate parties, and still know exactly who you are. Some of the most confident people I know are introverts who've embraced their nature instead of apologizing for it. Confidence isn't about how much you talk or how many people know your name. It's about how comfortable you are in your own skin, regardless of the setting. The main character mindset explains living like the protagonist of your own life. Here's where everything comes together. The main character mindset isn't about being the center of attention or acting like you're in a movie. It's about living with intention, like you're the protagonist of your own story. Think about it. In any good story, the main character has goals, faces obstacles, grows through challenges, and keeps moving forward. They're not perfect, they mess up, but they're active, not passive. Things happen to them, but they also make things happen. When you live with a main character mindset, you stop waiting for life to come to you. You stop hoping someone else will fix your problems or give you permission to be happy. You take ownership. You decide what kind of person you want to be, and you start showing up that way. Taking ownership of your story. Taking ownership means accepting where you are without blaming circumstances or other people. It means recognizing that you can't control everything, but you can control how you respond. It means being honest about your insecurities instead of hiding them, because hiding them gives them power over you. This mindset is incredibly attractive because it signals maturity. A guy who owns his story, including the messy parts, is a guy who can handle life. He's not looking for someone to save him or complete him. He's already complete, and he's looking for someone to share that with. True confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, decision by decision, action by action. It starts with understanding what it really looks like. Quiet certainty, internal self-worth, and the willingness to show up as yourself without apology. Here's your takeaway. Confidence isn't about being perfect or impressive. It's about being real, owning who you are, and living like your life actually matters, because it does.